Sairam students, welcome to this lecture on English grammar. Today we are going to learn modals. Language is not always used simply to exchange information by making simple statements and by asking questions. So what else is it used for? Sometimes you want to make request, or you want to offer or suggest something, or even to express your wishes or intentions. So language is used in many ways. It can be to express your intentions, or to make a request, or to make some suggestions. You may even want to be polite or tactful, or to indicate your feelings about what you're saying. So for all this purpose, models enable you to do these things with English. Now, English language, as we all know, acts very strangely in some characteristics that it displays. It is complex at times, and yet sometimes very simple. There are so many rules, but almost none go without exceptions. Yet, there are some rules that contradict other rules. So, we must all have come across these terms, this variety of terms in our day to day life. Models are a special kind of auxiliary. Okay, models are helping verbs which are used with the main verbs to express the speaker's attitude towards the action. So what are models? Models are a special kind of auxiliary verbs, that is helping verbs, which are used along with the principal verbs, also known as main verbs. And why they are used? So as to express the speaker's attitude towards the action. Right. So, in order to understand this auxiliary verb, you need to know the basic. I'm sure students, you have come across, you must have all come across the term verbs in our primary schools. Okay, a verb is nothing but a word or part of speech that expresses an action or doing something. So what is a verb? It is a part of speech which expresses an action or doing something. Verb is the main backbone of a sentence. A sentence can't fulfill its demand without using a verb. So that's how important a verb is. Now, verbs are divided into two main categories. All right, there are two main divisions or categories of verbs. One is principal verb and second is auxiliary verbs. So, let us understand what is this auxiliary verb. A verb that can't use independently, or rather helps a principal verb to form a sentence, is called an auxiliary verb or helping verb. Alright, so auxiliary verbs can't be used independently and they help the principal verb to form a sentence. And that is the reason they are also known as helping verb. And auxiliary verbs are of two types. They are primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Now, primary auxiliaries in English has three verbs. Okay, That is do, be, and have. These are the three primary auxiliaries. All three take part in the formation of various grammatical constructions, but they carry very little meaning themselves. Right? And in this lecture, we are going to focus more on modal auxiliaries. Okay. So, what are these modal auxiliaries? Simple. They are those helping verbs which express the mode or manner of the actions indicated by the main verb. Okay, they are helping verbs and they express the mode or manner of action that is indicated by the main verb. So basically, modals express modes. Now, what kind of modes? Modes such as possibility, permission, probability, ability, etc. The most commonly used modals are can, may, will, would, should, could, might, must, need, ought to, have to, and had to. So these are the most commonly used modals. Now, to understand modals in a proper way, you need to know the nature of modals. So let us understand that. The first thing that you need to keep in mind is modals are never used alone. Okay, they have a verb with them. Now let us look at this example in case it is used alone. How does the statement goes? I can upon the harmonium. Does this sound a complete sentence? Of course not. There is something missing in it. Now, if I read this sentence by adding a word over here, okay, and that is the main verb. I can play upon the harmonium. Here, play is a verb and can is the modal that is being used. The second thing that you need to remember is modals don't change according to the number or person of the subject. So they don't change according to the number or person of the subject. They remain unchanged. Like the examples given over here. I can play. He can play. We can play. They can play. So in all the above examples here, can is the modal that does not change, that remains unchanged. The next thing that you need to remember is modals don't have the infinitive form. So what does it mean? It means we can't place to with them in order to make their use in the sentence. Alright, we can't place to with them in order to use them in a sentence. Let us look at this example. We must to get there before time. Is this a correct sentence? No, it's incorrect. So what is the correct sentence? We must get there before time. Okay, so here must is the modal and get is the verb. Alright, so modals are helping verb. Now moving ahead, before starting with functions of modals, I hope students you understood nature of modals, the three points that we just learned. Number one, modals are never used alone. They have a verb with them. Number two, Models don't change according to the number or person of the subject, like in this case. And the last but not the least, models don't have the infinitive form. Okay, which means we can't place to with them in order to make their use in the sentence. Now, moving ahead, let us understand functions of models. Okay, let us understand its uses. The first modal verb is can. Now, can be used for various reasons. It can be used to express ability. It can be used to offer something. It can be used as a request, permission, possibility. So for all this purpose, the modal verb can be used. Let's go through each of them. The first use is given over here is can is used to show the ability to do something. Example, he can solve this sum. I can drive a car. She can speak English. So all these examples, all the three examples show the ability to do something. Note, inability is expressed by cannot. It means incapable of or unable to do something. Like this examples given over here. He cannot drive a car. I cannot help you in this matter. He can't hear. He is deaf. Each of the examples given over here express the inability or something the person is incapable of doing. Okay, so to express such inability, we use cannot. Can is also used to seek or grant permission in an informal way. So let us see this example. You can go home now. Okay, so here it is either used to seek permission or give permission to do something. Like in this case, you can go home now. Now here another example where you're seeking permission. Can I have an ice cream, mother? Both these sentences show that the subject is granting or seeking permission to do something. Here, can means permitting or allowing to do something. Alright, so I hope students this part is clear. So, also note when permission is not granted, then we use cannot. Cannot express prohibition. Like in these examples given over here, you cannot go before you have finished your work. You cannot travel without a ticket. One cannot drink in public places. The visitors cannot park their cars at the gate. So all the above sentences express certain actions which are prohibited. And what we use here to express prohibition? We use cannot. Right? Now, another usage of can. Can is used to express a possibility. Possibility of something to happen. Okay, possibility of a certain happening. The use of can usually shows a theoretical possibility. That is the possibility of a certain happening. Examples: pets can be very troublesome. Anyone can make such mistakes. So these examples express the possibility of a certain happening. Okay, it is only a possibility. Okay, cannot is used to express impossibility. For example, I am afraid. I cannot tell you that. It's a secret. So here cannot expresses impossibility of sharing something. Okay, why? Because it's a secret. So can is used for all this purpose. Can is also used to make a request. Okay, you can make a request by using this modal verb. Can you lend me some money? Can you lend me your pen, please? So you can also make a request. So with this, we come to an end of this particular verb explanation for this verb. I hope students, the modal verb can is quite clear, and I hope you also understood the functions of can. We need to remember that can is used to express ability as a request, permission, permission in the sense to grant permission or to seek permission, and also it is used to express inability, to express prohibition. All right, so can is used in all these ways. I hope students you are able to understand this particular modal verb clearly. With this, we come to an end of this lecture, and in this lecture, we don't have any home assignment. All right, so thank you so much for all your time. Take care.